If nobody around you builds wealth, staying broke can start to feel completely normal. That is not an intelligence problem, it is an exposure problem. If you are paid every 2 weeks, $100 every paycheck is $2,600 a year. Over 20 years, that is $52,000 contributed before any investment growth. So why can a decision that simple feel completely foreign until you see somebody else doing it? Quick question. Growing up, was money mostly about bills, debt, saving, or investing? Put the one word that fits your house in the comments. Today, I make investing automatic. I absolutely did not start there. For a long time, I let getting through the month become my entire money strategy because I did not know there was another one. I knew how to earn money. I knew how to survive on it. What I had never been shown was how to save it and store it long enough to turn income into wealth. Because earning $60,000 and keeping nothing builds nothing, the trap is thinking income and wealth are the same thing, and they are not. I did not understand that until I ended up working around retirement accounts every single day, and that job showed me something I had never seen growing up. People with completely ordinary salaries who had quietly built $300,000, sometimes $500,000, then, right beside them, people earning great money with almost nothing saved. That messed with my head, because I had assumed the person making more money would obviously end up wealthier. That was not what I kept seeing. And the strangest part was what the people building wealth were doing differently. Almost nothing. No secret investment, no dramatic move, no perfect prediction. They were doing something much less exciting. They were repeating boring decisions. And once I saw that enough times, I realized the real reason I had stayed broke for so long. Where I grew up, money was about getting through the month. Can I pay this bill? Can I make the car payment? Can I get to Friday? Those are real skills. Stretching $20 takes skill. Knowing which bill can wait takes skill. Making something last another week because replacing it is not an option takes skill. Nobody around me was stupid. Nobody deliberately taught me the wrong thing. Survival was simply the money skill everybody around me had been forced to master. So survival was the skill that got passed down. Here was my mistake. I thought surviving money problems and building wealth were basically the same game. They are not. Surviving asks, how do I make this money last until the next paycheck? Building wealth asks, how much of this money can I keep working for me after the paycheck is gone? Nobody around me was talking about contribution percentages. Nobody was saying when you get a raise, increase your investing before your lifestyle catches it. Nobody was showing me what 20 years of boring contributions could become. I was not missing intelligence, I was missing evidence. And you can live inside one version of normal for so long that you stop realizing another version even exists. Then I got close enough to the other version to see what it really looked like, and it was nothing like I expected. I expected wealth to look impressive up close. It did not. It looked boring. A contribution set years ago that was still happening every paycheck. A raise where part of the extra money went into the account instead of all of it going into a bigger lifestyle. A person leaving investments alone when the market got ugly instead of trying to outsmart every headline. That was wealth building. Not exciting, not impressive, just repeatable. And that completely changed what I noticed. Old normal was, I got a raise. What can I upgrade? New normal was, I got a raise. What percentage can I keep? Old normal was, retirement is a problem for future me. New normal was, the contribution happens before I have a chance to spend the money. Old normal was, that person looks rich. New normal was, I have no idea what that person owns. That last one matters, because a financed lifestyle is visible. Wealth usually is not. You see the truck, you do not see the payment. You see the vacation, you do not see the credit card balance. You see somebody driving an older car. You do not see the retirement account sitting behind it. Once I understood that, money started looking different. But seeing a different normal created another problem. Changing what I did with money was one thing. Changing who still got a vote on those decisions was harder. This is where Jim Rohn eventually gave me language for something I had already watched happen. He taught that the people around you do not all deserve the same amount of influence. Some relationships you expand. Some you limit. Some you may eventually move away from. I think about money decisions in an even simpler way. Not everybody gets an equal vote. You work hard. Enjoy your money. Everybody has a car payment. You have plenty of time to worry about retirement. Why are you saving that much? None of those sentences sounds dangerous by itself. But hear the same idea often enough and it becomes permission. Permission to spend more. Permission to wait. Permission to make the choice everybody else is making. I did not need to stop caring about somebody because I did not want their financial advice. The relationship could survive. It just stopped voting. And here's the test I wish I had learned much earlier. If I would not trade financial situations with this person, why am I automatically giving their financial opinion authority over my plan? That does not make the other person bad. It does not make me better than them. It means I need to separate loving somebody from copying them. Those are not the same thing. Try this. Imagine somebody tells you, I am keeping this car another 5 years because I would rather invest the payment. Does that sound smart? Or does part of you immediately think, why not enjoy your money? Now imagine somebody says, I got a raise, so I increased my retirement contribution before I upgraded anything. Does that sound normal or extreme? Your first reaction tells you something, because you are not only choosing what to do with money, you are deciding which behavior gets to feel normal. So do a private gut check. Do not answer this one for me. Think of the person whose money habits influence you the most. Now ask, do I want their financial behavior to become mine? If the answer is yes, pay more attention. If the answer is no, maybe that relationship still deserves your love. It just deserves fewer votes. Here is the tool I would use from this point forward. 3 questions. First, what financial behavior currently feels normal to me? When more money comes in, where does it automatically go? When somebody around me upgrades something, do I immediately feel behind? When the market gets scary, do I feel like I have to do something? Second, who currently gets a vote on my financial decisions? Whose opinion makes me second-guess saving? Whose lifestyle makes me feel like I am failing? Whose advice am I following even though I do not want their financial outcome? Third, what evidence of a better normal am I repeatedly exposing myself to? Repeatedly is the important word. One video does not erase 20 years of conditioning. One book does not automatically change what feels normal. You have to stay around better evidence long enough that your brain stops treating the better decision like some weird thing responsible people do. Eventually, it just becomes what you do. And that is exactly what happened to me. Not all at once, but slowly. I spent years around accounts where nothing exciting happened. Somebody contributed, then contributed again and again. Good market, bad market, recession, recovery. Life happened. The contribution kept happening. 20 years passed, 30 years passed. Then one day there was $300,000 sitting there, sometimes $500,000. And once you watch that happen enough times, something strange happens to the idea of being rich. It stops looking magical. It starts looking mathematical. If you had shown 25-year-old me the final balance, I probably would have thought that is for somebody else. But show me the first contribution, I could believe that. Show me the second one, I could believe that too. And that is what finally clicked. The huge ending was made out of small decisions somebody kept making after those decisions stopped feeling exciting. My income did not change first. My definition of normal did. That was the real change. I did not suddenly become smarter. Nobody handed me a secret investment. I got thousands of hours around evidence that wealth gets built through boring, repeated behavior. Before that, wealth looked like something certain people had. After enough exposure, it looked like a process. And once something looks like a process instead of a personality trait, you can finally ask the question that matters. What is the next repeatable decision I can make? For most of my life, the people around me were not villains. They were showing me the version of money somebody had shown them. And I repeated it because I did not know there was another version. You do not need to become a different person overnight. You need better evidence in front of you long enough for a better decision to stop feeling unusual. Then you repeat it, and repeat it, until one day somebody looks at your financial life and assumes you knew something they did not. The next question is, what boring decision is actually worth automating first? That is where the Roth IRA comes in. I break down what it does, who it makes sense for, and why something so simple can become powerful when you give it enough time. Subscribe to MaxStats Finance if you want money guidance based on what actually happens inside real financial accounts and how thousands of people just like you have built and sustained real wealth. And when you are done here, watch the Roth IRA video next, because figuring out which debt to pay first is only half the equation. The other half is making sure the money you invest goes into the right account. I will see you there later.